Italians were not happy to be lectured by Justin Trudeau. Here is how the Italian newspaper Libero put it. Said, "Questo buffone vuole darsi lezione." This buffoon wants to give us a lecture.
And there's a picture of Trudeau in blackface.
And they reference it because above that, they call him the Merchant of Wounds. And the subtitle below says, the Prime Minister of Canada says he's worried about the treatment of gay people in Italy. The same guy who went in blackface and allows surrogacy. So they're like, this guy? No, I don't think we need to hear from you. We actually can think for ourselves. Trudeau took it upon himself while he was in Italy, or not in Italy, while he was visiting Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni during the G7 to tell Italy what they're doing wrong. The government in Italy does not allow gay marriage. They allow civil unions. And recently they handed parental rights for same-sex families to the biological parent. And Justin Trudeau has a problem with this. Now, Meloni says that this is what was dictated by the courts and what her previous administration did before she took office. She herself is not married and she has a child with her partner. So, you know, she understands sort of ununioned families. She does not appreciate this lecture. So here is Trudeau giving her a good old mansplaining about what worries him about Italy.
Obviously, Canada is concerned about some of the positionings that Italy is taking in terms of the LGBT rights, but I look forward to talking with you about that because we're here at the G7 as an assembly of countries that are promoting the kinds of strong values and democratic principles that the world needs, and I always look forward to those conversations with you.
Look at her face.
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to mansplain this to me?
Well, yeah, let's look at her face. Look at this screen of her face. I don't want to sit here.
She's like, I just had some bad pasta. It's like this little spoiled bottle of Chianti sitting next to me.
Yeah, I'm going to save this, like, Clayton, for whenever you annoy me and drone on.
Go ahead, Philip.
She's looking at the camera operator, and that's that. Like, are you seeing this shit face? That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, do you believe this?
Well,
is this happening?
She's like, look at me. She's like, look. She's like, hey, and by the way, have you seen his socks?
What's wrong with his socks? The socks are all right.
All right. They're Argyle.
Whatever. He's got a lot more problems than his socks. He says, he looks forward to talking about that later. I don't think she's going to give him the chance to talk about that later. And it's just a reminder that Europeans do not want Canada to tell them how to be. And they do not especially want Trudeau to be the messenger of that message. Just recall last year when the European Union Member of Parliament, Christine Anderson, called out Trudeau for being a dictator. This was a great moment. I remind you of it here.
Based on Article 195, out that it would have been more appropriate for Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence. Thank you.
All right.
That's one of my favorite
European
speeches
women
ever.
Are not feeling this guy, queste buffone, right?
That, yeah.
And so again, now we have Europe saying, and this is the movie line that I thought of today. I'll just let the movie play. This is what Europe is saying to Justin Trudeau.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Get out.
Yes, get out of here. It's funny if you think about all of the ways in which they've undermined democracy in that country, for him to sit there with a straight face and tell her how Italy is undermining democracy, or we're going to have discussions about democracy he says these things multiple times.
He doesn't say he wants democracy. He wants his way of treating LGBTQ plus people. That's not democracy.
Which is his version of democracy.
He wants the opposite of democracy.
But he's reminded us repeatedly how there's slippage in democracy and how there's a slippery slope towards authoritarianism.
No,
he says
he wants to impose himself.
Right.
And he wants to then actually subvert their democracy.
Yeah.
Which has chosen these things.
And he's, of course, said multiple times how he looks up to the Chinese model. He's, of course, a student. He's one of the young World Economic Forum, young tools of the World Economic Forum under Klaus Schwab. He's one of their brightest stars. And they like the idea of authoritarianism. They like the idea of the government being able to tell you what to do, to censor you, and to how you're going to live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good old Justin Trudeau.
All right, I'm going to save this meme of her face for, whenever I think that you're droning on. I'm just going to text it to you. Can we put it back on the screen? So you're going to see this one texted. I'm going to meme it.
You guys should recreate this sometime, like your own version.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be great.
Yeah, so I'll just be, here's my definition of democracy. Here's what I think about democracy. Here's what you should do about gay people in Italy. Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.